Now entering Nerdist.com.
No. Mad, bonding, friendship, bonding.
Yeah. I love it.
My name is Matt.
My name is too. Welcome to James Bonding with Matt and Matt.
Matt.
Today, we welcome to the illustrious program Mr. Jonah Ray.
Jonah Ray.
Jonah, of course, Comedy Central Half Hour just aired. Excellent job there. And, man, you're coming to Comedy Central in January?
No, we start shooting in January, the
Okay.
Meltdown show with Jonah Kumau.
This is where we are right now. This is where this is going to happen.
This is where
the magic
zero
started.
for everything.
We are in this place recording right now because of that gentleman right there.
Really?
Yep.
You pulled all
No,
this
yeah,
off?
we wouldn't be here doing this.
Well, I don't.
I want you to take some credit.
No. Just it's just an idea. That
It was
we
a good
all
idea.
had. Yeah,
Oh,
cool.
It was a good idea.
I see what's happening.
Yeah.
I think you deserve some credit.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
As an independent arbiter,
Yeah.
this is why I've been called in.
Yes, of course.
To dole out coods.
I am a muse. I am a conduit.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
I'm an aqueduct.
Coods to you.
Yes.
Today, guys, we watched the second installment in the James Bond franchise. This is the third episode of the show, and that movie was From
Russia with love.
Did it bother you that is actual source music on a radio that he turns off?
Yeah, it's the only time that happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
No, I didn't mind it for some reason, but I see what you're saying.
I'm sure at the time that was mind blowing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you know, see Daniel Craig driving down the street listening to Skyfall.
It is really
No, he's not really.
self-referential,
He doesn't really. Like I don't really see him as a fan of Adele. Maybe some hyphy, maybe some dubstep, but not Adele.
The man is Daniel Craig is
Yeah.
an Adele fan.
Yeah, he was
but,
a big-
Bond. They do it. Is it on Her Majesty's Secret Service where that little person is sweeping and he whistles Goldfinger? Do you know about
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
boy, this is a real precedent.
So wait, this is the second movie.
Second movie. This is our third episode because what we're doing, Jonah, is we're doing Dr. No, then Skyfall, then From Russia with Love, then back up to Quantum of Solace. So we're sort of going from both ends and
We're
meeting in the
flanking
middle.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
We just wanted to change up the order just because we didn't want it to be forever until we got to some modern James Bond. And Matt and I are sort of partial to Roger Moore, so we're sort of saving him for the...
Yeah, I see that, but it seems like it just makes that when you get to those later ones or the Roger Moore stuff, it makes it that much sweeter.
Yeah, you've done your work.
Yeah,
I love
it's gonna
this
be.
idea.
It's gonna be.
I love
It's
it.
gonna be great. Let's talk. We have to ask our guests, Jonah, about their sort of experiences pre this podcast with James Bond. Were you a fan growing up? Did you watch it at all? Did you care at all?
Didn't care much when the first Pierce Brosnan one came out, which is
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah.
When that came out, I was in the midst of, for some reason, I was in school. I was in middle school, I believe, and I didn't like school. But I, for some reason, always thought it'd be fun to start clubs, and I would always start a club and then just bail on it after the first session.
Wait,
started
so
a
you're a
bowling-
serial club starter?
I started a bowling club. I went to one and bailed. I started.
How were your relationships at this time?
Like with just who?
Just women.
Oh well, I
Girls.
was in middle school.
Were you dating
There
any
were
women
no
at the
such thing
time?
as girls for me.
That's true. Same
Yeah.
here,
No, I was. I was like in 6th grade, and I was 300 pounds, and I was not about to.
All right,
and I was
so-
all boys school.
So far, we got a lot in common.
Yeah. So, and the reason, and one of the things when I started the movie club
Oh boy.
is I got us to leave school a little early.
Holy
so
shit.
whoever was in the movie
He's a
club
fucking genius.
could go see GoldenEye. And it was, I remember being like, whoa, but when the next one came out, just
was sort
didn't.
of it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just,
Same here.
and I don't know why. I think I wasn't ready for, the humor of it. I don't think I was ready for, I don't think I was adult enough to understand the jokes that are in there for people, as opposed to, like, it just seemed cheesy to me. And I was such a huge fan of of Mel Brooks that like and like Mel Brooks' movies, a lot of them were made around that same time, so they have the same kind of like sweaties, late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, the look,
yeah, brown
the aesthetic,
sweat is
the
very
grain of
much
the film is there.
Yeah, orange skin, sweat.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't know how to. Even Romero didn't know how to light correctly for zombies in Dawn of the Dead. That's why they didn't look green and gray. And stuff.
When you were a kid, though, did like your dad ever like turn on the TV, watch an old James Bond movie?
No.
If it was on?
Was Goldeneye your first Bond movie?
Goldeneye was my first Bond movie.
Wow.
That, like I
That's a
saw,
different perspective,
Top and Tails, and I didn't really, I knew it was a cultural milestone.
Sure.
I know what 007 is. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he has a buddy named Q. You have all that stuff that and are just reference points for other things. Like maybe the first time I saw the barrel of the gun going across it might have been a Muppet Babies episode.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you pick up sort of stuff like that from other
like,
people's
like
references.
Muppet Babies, very like tons of references to movies. Simpsons, just nothing but references to movies. And so it's so weird when you finally get to see those movies. You go, oh, that's why that was funny. I laughed anyway.
Yeah.
I had the exact same experience, but with Warner Brothers cartoons, not first run, but. Exactly. I would walk around the house doing Jimmy Cagney impressions, not knowing who that was.
Right.
And people, like mothers in the neighborhood, would be like, "How do you know who Jimmy Cagney is?" And I don't. And you'd see it later and go, full circle.
Yeah.
And I need to work on
Which
my
I think,
impression.
and that's sort of, I think that's kind of, that was what was cool, not to get off on a tangent, but what was kind of cool about Tiny Toons was that generation. Because if you can remember back to Tiny Toons, they would have scenes sometimes, or maybe it was more Animaniacs, would have scenes with Michael Keaton as Batman would show up, and then because it was Warner Brothers, so they did that. And, like Jack Nicholson was there, and, like they had this whole
Goodfellas.
this whole
Those were very much Hollywood cartoon. I mean, Animaniacs was
right.
They were in the Warner Brothers water tower.
Yeah. In fairness, it's Burbank, but
what?
Nothing.
Hollywood as a general term, not as a jurisdiction.
Do you guys need me to do an independent arbitration again?
Yeah.
But this time, like, just to decide the case?
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Now I feel pressure. I like handing out positive outcomes. So I'm just going to say that nobody wins. And think about your sins. Think on your sins. All right.
I really do. I said Hollywood in the general sense.
Sort of.
As in, that's Hollywood, kid.
Hello.
Sort of a related question. Jonah, I know you're a big fan of Weird Al. We all are.
Yes.
Did you see Spy Hard?
Yes, I had a poster for Spy Hard in my room.
I've never seen Spy
Leslie
Hard.
Nielsen.
You've never seen Spy Hard?
No. Well, maybe I have.
It's not.
I can't say go see it. Like it's not like a Touchstone picture.
Yeah. Well, it was weird when they stopped making Naked Gun movies, but Leslie Nielsen didn't stop making Naked Gun movies.
No one told Leslie that they were done making Naked Gun movies.
It's just Spy Hard. Oh no, this is Naked Gun 45th and the 9th.
Dracula Dead, and I'm just wearing a Dracula costume.
Do I like this? Am I loving it?
Though there are some great jokes in Dracula Dead and loving it.
I've never seen it,
but I digress.
That I would watch that before you watch Spy Hard.
Do I have to watch both?
No.
Okay.
If you want to be a completist when it comes to Masters of Comedy, Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Which
I've even here's the thing. There's one of the biggest comedy snobs I know, B.J. Porter, who was a writer on Mr. Show and helped start Comedy Death Ray. He'll say about Dracula Dead and Loving It, the last 15 minutes are some of the funniest moments in any Mel Brooks movie.
Really? Well, that's good enough for me.
Listen. I could agree with that.
Really?
I do. I really. There's a soft spot for Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Welcome to Dracula Dead and Loving It bonding podcast.
No, it's Dracula Dead and Loving It. No, I'm sorry, but so I don't really, I've never really seen much. I've had friends like my friend Peter Atencio, who's he should be a guest on this show. He's crazy into James Bond.
Well, really?
Yeah, he even for G4 did like a whole run of them when they got the rights to show the James Bond movies. He did all the interstitials and he took a huge pay cut because he wanted to be involved with this so much. Because he got to play with a lot of the props. This was probably 5 years ago. Man,
they got as we were on our way out the door, they got the rights again.
Oh, really?
And I was begging them to let me do interstitials for it.
Yeah. No, they had Atencio direct those.
That's awesome.
I think he ended up writing them mostly.
That's awesome.
But so I've had friends that love it, and it's hard to watch it when you've seen every bit of reference or parody of it beforehand. You know?
But in your defense, though, those Brosnan ones are basically self-parodies, or at least parodies of early Bonds for me. Because I kind of had a similar experience, except I was really into him as a kid, and then kind of stepped away for a while, and then came back for the Brosnan era, and I was like, I don't know.
It was just, they were just action movies.
In a die-hard world, other things were doing it better.
Well, they exponentially.
Yeah.
I think that the series of James Bond movies is interesting in that each movie that comes out, it begins to parody itself more and more.
Yeah.
Well, everything becomes a callback.
Yeah.
Until you get to Die Another Day, which is maybe the worst movie I've ever seen.
He texted me the other day watching it.
Oh God,
just couldn't believe it.
It is that movie, which was the 20th. No, we'll just talk a a little
teaser.
Touch on it a little bit. We're gonna touch on it a little bit.
Taste.
That movie is the 20th anniversary of James Bond, and there's
40th
rather.
Right?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
20th picture, the 20th movie.
Right.
But there's so much. Look at this.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Ooh.
Like for instance, John Cleese, who's playing Q at that point, hands Bond his watch and goes, "This will be your 20th, I believe." There's that kind of self-referential.
That was the second Brosnan?
Third.
Third Brosnan.
Fourth.
How he did that many, huh?
Yeah.
Fourth.
Wow.
That was his
He
fourth
wanted
and
to
final.
do more. Yeah, he wanted to do more.
And I would have loved to have him do more. But
He's a good-looking Bond.
Yeah.
he looks like what you think James Bond looks like.
exactly.
You know what I mean? All right, man. I appreciate it.
Is that only because of youth? Is that like reminiscence in youth? And
Yeah, a lot of it could be nostalgia, but I
Yeah.
think I loved the kind of grizzled looks of Connery. I buy him as someone out in the field, and I buy it with Daniel Craig. I don't with Pierce Brosnan. To me, he's
looks
like
like a
department store.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think you can with Pierce Brosnan or Roger Moore.
Yeah, I agree.
You never buy the brutality
But they
with
went
Roger
all
Moore.
the way with Roger Moore to the
Yeah.
campsite, and Brosnan, you want it both ways. He wants it both ways, and it just never worked for me. And I admit that I'm totally right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as he always does.
no, that I may not be correct.
but-
Everybody has their own.
Had you ever seen a Sean Connery James Bond movie?
No.
Before we made you watch this?
Really?
Wow.
Wow. Well, this
Yeah.
is a good one to start because this
Yeah.
is
This is early in the
as
run.
legit as they get. Some
Yeah.
of them get a little bit more wacky, which I enjoy.
And
But-
it did have, I mean, there was a lot of jokes in it.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And
there are.
this is probably the driest one. Maybe Dr. No. Would you say?
I think this might be this. In many ways, I find this to be the simplest James Bond movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one, like two very open double crosses, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a linear detective story.
Yeah,
basically.
and it was. I still found it to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I
of
did
like
too.
what's going to happen. Robert Shaw's going this way. Sean Connery's going that way. So
There's only two action pieces, huh?
Basically.
There's the raid
Yeah.
on the gypsy camp, and then
Yeah.
there's the boats.
yeah,
Yeah?
But there's also I find that fight we'll
The
get to
fight
in a
is
minute. The
amazing.
fight in the
Okay,
train
yeah.
car is amazing.
Oh yeah. That's a fucking brutal fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this we should say, too, because the general public seems to feel Goldfinger is the best and most classic Bond film. But I think among Bond fans, this is usually the one cited as one of the best, if not the best. Maybe honor mention.
I loved
Secret
it.
Service.
I like
I can-
it.
I can agree with that,
It's
yeah.
a great looking movie. It's it's Istanbul, and they really use the fuck out of that temple. the temple. It's like that's like in the background of almost every shot.
Well, what's interesting about that is you get a little continuity error happening there, right there, because Moneypenny says she's never been to Istanbul.
Wait a minute. Is she there?
Isn't that where the fucking Skyfall chase is?
Boy, you are really... That's right. It is, huh?
Yep. So right there, they fucked it
That's
up.
the only flaw in that lineage. There's never another single at all.
Okay, so Jonah, as someone who's never seen a Sean Connery,
And believe me, there's
James
a bit
Bond
of guilt.
movie,
There's a bit of guilt with it.
I don't worry about it.
We have no judgment here.
we
I
accept
mean, like
all.
as a guy that like I try my best to just watch, and I talk to Matt about this a lot, and we get into arguments about it where it's like, all I do is try to watch movies I've never seen before. That's what I do.
You're a
with
better man
my,
than I.
like my time. But they just keep on coming out, and the easy accessibility of just clicking a button and watching the new Joe Swansburg, even though I don't like him. Like I still want to see the new one.
Yeah.
But Bond probably feels like a tall order because there's so many. Where do you start?
I'll equate it to this exactly, and I've done this to a lot of other things, and Matt's heard this one, is that it's like when I first heard Guided by Voices, which is, I was like, who is this? Or like, this is Guided by Voices. I was like, this is great. I'm going to go get some of their records. And you go, and they have just a rack and a half full of albums, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
It's
what about
daunting.
Superchunk? Just the same.
Yeah.
There's too much of it,
Yeah.
and it's too overwhelming to even start. Like,
I
where
agree.
do you start?
Superchunk, how many Twitter followers? I know that's just 'cause I looked it up the other day. How many Twitter followers do you think Superchunk has?
5,400.
I'll say 24,000.
It's 19,000.
Oh.
You guys, as the arbiter of this,
Yeah?
you're both right.
Okay.
Okay, so this is good. I'm kind of very happy that Jonah's not seen a Sean Connery.
Yeah,
James Bond movie.
it's nice. We're getting lots of different perspectives.
What is your overall impression of Sean Connery as James Bond?
You know what? It's good. It's a bit like he's a bit too blasé, in my opinion.
Okay.
He's a guy that has seen shit, has done horrible things. Not to jump ahead, but when the guy he's been broing out with the entire movie is found dead,
Yeah.
he could care less.
Yeah.
And maybe there needs to be, for me, some like repercussions, like to show detachment more. But he's so obsessed with this girl that's not even the hottest girl in the movie. It's like he's so obsessed with her, and like for no real good reason besides the fact that she's kind of cute and got an accent. And then like this guy who is my favorite person in the movie.
Yeah.
He
He's
made
so
the
great.
movie for
He's
me.
so great.
Like pretty, like an accent that kind of comes in and out. But
he is the Quarrel of
Yeah.
From Russia with Love. Quarrel is the very similar role in Doctor No.
oh, okay.
So it's like whenever James Bond meets a buddy, like meets this guy that's helping him on the mission, always incredibly likable character actors.
Yeah,
are doing
and
this
usually
role.
doomed.
Yeah,
The character.
yeah, and I
But
knew
on-
that would happen. But as far as like just too blasé.
Yeah, and I'm
know.
with you. Even when he tells Karim's son that he died on
Yes!
the train, it's like he's mad at the son.
Yeah.
Not consoling or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, don't bother with that. I got shit to do.
Here's my argument
Yeah.
for this. I think that James Bond does show great sympathy by gathering his things, by picking up all.
In his way.
Do you think that's just it's so mechanical for him?
Yeah.
It's like a fallen soldier, and you just grab his dog tags.
Yeah,
and
but
take
I
home
think-
to his
I'm sure
wife.
there's-
But I think
that's-
if he
yeah.
didn't, I think the character of James Bond is capable of not caring in such a manner that he would not have bothered to do that.
Yeah, and I think definitely it's interesting because this is definitely a character choice. So you should see a later Connery where not only does the character not care, but the actor does not care. Just, oh boy.
Also, the Sean Connery voice isn't there yet. It's not fully formed.
Yeah, the classic.
I mean, yeah, it's just like it's not.
Well, I
it's
think-
not all the way there.
Right.
you know?
I think that's a little bit of him trying to
Sound more British.
tone back
Maybe.
the Scottish.
His
yeah.
jowls hasn't dropped yet.
Yeah. Okay, so the movie opens up with the full on cold open,
Uh-huh.
and it is the audience is led to believe that James Bond is being hunted down.
I have a couple questions to
Yes.
throw at you guys for this. Do you think Sean Connery is acting like a fake Sean Connery in this scene? I watched it this time thinking he is. Like
Yes.
he's doing subtle things of almost robotic movements or something.
I agree with that entirely. I
Yeah.
think that he moves differently, and I think that there's a couple of things like he gets a little more scared than you would think that James Bond would get scared.
Also, where is he coming from in a tuxedo that a killer will go kill him in a hedge maze? Or who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, like I was expecting to hear a party nearby.
Yeah.
you know?
Yes.
But
like
that Spectre has set up this hedge maze, all of this pretense for what's essentially just a murder exercise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what
well,
we
they
don't,
reference that later.
yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
Oh.
when they're walking through the training area, it's like,
we
it's like,
use
well,
live
this
targets.
training is nothing compared to actual experience. It's
Oh,
like, well,
right.
we have live targets for that.
Oh, okay, got you.
And
I
that's
agree.
right there.
We use live targets also.
Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it.
Oh, good.
I wasn't. I thought it was weird. The one thing that like made me, in retrospect, when he like shot, I was like, James Bond isn't really the kind of guy that just shoots willy nilly.
Yeah.
And then just if it's an exercise. Unnecessary mask. It's like that mask
Right.
was only for the audience.
Yeah.
It had nothing like. It's like is that Russian guy going like? It's like I just can't get into it. I see my friend. I can.
Are you asking me to run around like I'm James Bond? I do not look like a James Bond.
Yeah. No, even the guy like that has to go and kill him. Like he's right. I can't.
I can't. I don't want to kill him.
Yeah.
I can't kill that guy.
Yeah.
Robert Shaw.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
Robert Shaw. So good in everything he's ever been in.
He may be the best henchman. I know people say odd job because there's more of a gimmick there, but Robert
No.
Shaw, just the versatility of the different roles he plays in this movie. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really great. And D was Robert Shaw from Jaws for Halloween once.
Really?
Yeah, as
Facial
she should
hair and
be.
all.
Quint.
Yeah, okay.
Quint.
Then
He's
he
my
pulls out yes.
Then
He pulls
the first gadget we ever see in a James Bond movie, I would
And
say.
that must have been mind-blowing at the time.
yeah.
I think it would have been.
Although we're talking about
Yeah, it just looks like
Sean Connery
thread from his
pulling out
coat.
the well, no, he pulls
God
out.
damn it!
Yeah, it basically is.
Here's my thought on that. I feel like the choke wire that comes out of the watch. I feel like that's a real sort of thing
Yeah.
that the SS soldiers had, or something.
I think
like
too,
that.
but I don't think the general public would have. I think everybody's watching that and go, "Why didn't I think of that?"
Well, you could easily just wind it back up, no problem.
But my thing was like I was like, there's got to be a little handle for it that you have to grab it, and like it would be hanging off your watch. Therefore, it would always be kind of like tickling your arm hair.
just worried about it.
Yeah,
So
it's like- it's like,
you think
I always think it's a bug.
you think it works like a pool toy?
Yeah. Well, it's just gonna have a little thing. You need a little thing to be able to pull from, right? Or it's gonna go right back in. Like if you don't knot your hoodie string.
You gotta knot your hoodie string, and you gotta knot your strangulation wires.
Exactly. Where are you gonna grab?
Did you know that they reshot this opening scene because when they took the mask off the guy, he didn't originally have a mustache, and people thought, oh, they're still going to think that's Sean Connery for some reason, and so they went and reshot it with the mustache so people would be very clear that it was not Sean Connery.
Sean Connery is James Bond, skin deep.
Yeah, he wears a mask.
Well, I think it's also here's why I would think they might think that, because you go 17 minutes into this movie without seeing Sean Connery as James Bond.
Really?
You go so far because I'm not counting the cold open situation. You go from the cold open to Spectre meeting on a boat,
yeah.
chess match,
right? Yeah,
then to Tatiana,
yeah.
then to James
Wow,
Bond.
right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
feel like that might be why they're like, we need a mustache. Sean's not in this enough. We need a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you're seeing here, Jonah, is the what was the main sort of villain for nearly every James Bond movie up through up to Diamonds Are Forever, right?
Are you talking about Blofeld,
talking about
Spectre?
Spectre.
Yes,
Diamonds
and
Are
then he's
Forever.
kind of dispensed in For Your Eyes Only, but just as a little nod, that character is. But yeah, Spectre.
Yeah. So Spectre is the special. Wait, we forget every time.
Special Executive. SP is 2, right?
Yeah,
It's
special.
Special
Executive.
Executive for Counter.
No, special effective for counter terrorism, extortion,
and Revenge.
and revenge.
Wait,
That's the name.
it can't-
I know the journey was
Counter-
fun, but you guys should have just looked it up.
It can't be counter-terrorism.
No, for counterintelligence. Counterintelligence,
look it up.
terrorism, right? Counterintelligence? Thank you,
Oh, are
Katie.
you?
Thank you, Moneypenny.
Special Executive for Counterintelligence, Terrorism, Revenge, and Extortion.
Yeah, there
Extortion.
We
go.
nailed it. We
So it's
nailed
like
it. We just
so-
did ER instead of RE.
So they do
Yeah.
revenge for hire.
yeah.
They do extortion.
They
Yeah.
don't do for hire. They do.
Well, they
for
do their own
themselves.
revenge.
well,
Yeah.
then you don't promote
Why would you
it.
even?
Don't
Yeah,
you
why would
know?
you promote that? Like, if I had a company, I wouldn't call it Pizza Fridays, just because internally we have Pizza Fridays.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Good point.
Exactly. Oh, that's just for us, the pizza.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
We don't actually. We don't.
I don't know why we put the banner outside
This
of
is
this
so
office
weird.
building.
This is really. I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
Hi. I'd like a pizza. But,
Oh, no.
it's Thursday, so I didn't know if I could come in.
No, actually, you know what?
Well-
We don't even. we just don't have pizza. It's
You don't have any pizza?
No,
No,
I mean,
we
there's
do,
pizza.
but it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's on Friday.
It's my kid's birthday today.
Yeah, that's fun. I mean, a happy
but
birthday.
you can get him anything you want out of the Urban Outfitters, but we don't have any pizza.
Yeah, but if you need like some extortion, or
What?
Yeah. No,
Do you know who I am? I'm James Bond.
Oh shit!
You have a son,
Oh, yeah. Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah, he maybe saw the
Amazing.
cartoon. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm just funning you guys.
James Bond Jr. was the nephew. I never understood the junior situation.
Well, that's like
But anyway.
Supergirl was his cousin.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Girl,
it's
too.
not really like it.
We'll get into that.
Also, you kept your cool when the guy revealed himself as James Bond. I got scared
No, I
as
knew
a worker for Spectre.
really what he wanted is just pizza. He obviously wasn't.
I'm not on a mission. I gotta live too.
Yeah, but it's just
It's not always work.
opposing teams. It just feels weird.
All right.
Okay, yeah, the face makeup was ridiculous. The then it cuts to a scene of the chess match.
We haven't had. Do you want to talk about the titles?
Oh,
and the song?
let's talk about the
Yeah.
title.
So these are not a Morris Binder title sequence, which he's known for all of these early ones, except
Yeah.
for this and Goldfinger. I think this is Robert Brownjohn.
What did
call my. Sorry.
what did you think
what I
of
call my
what did you
titles.
think of the title sequence?
They knew how hard it would be to read them. That's why they always show up twice.
Yeah.
You notice
Yeah,
that it's like
definitely.
it's on my arm. Wait, what was that say? It's on my arm again.
Yeah, the producers
Yeah.
came in and went, I love the idea, but we actually have to read these. So
Yeah.
Could you flatten them out
it's
a little?
guild thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand. It's a guilt thing.
And so this is one of the few instrumentals for a Bond film, one of three, I think. Dr. No, well, they're kind of the lyrics in that.
Yeah.
But On Her Majesty's Secret Service and From Russia with Love. But then
Yeah.
they play the vocal version of the song at the end.
Which is also available on the James Bond soundtrack, the vocal rendition.
There's just a James Bond soundtrack.
There's a Best of Bond.
Oh, okay.
What was the original idea of just having such an elaborate credit sequence for a Bond movie?
Well, if you watch
It was
movie,
in vogue at the time,
Yeah.
too. Saul
Yeah.
Bass and the Hitchcock movies.
Yeah,
and,
I guess you're
and
right.
then I think what happened is the James Bond as an entity lived on for so long past that being in vogue that it just was like, well, we have to do this.
And thank
Yeah.
God, because I love them. I love the title sequences.
Skyfall.
Skyfall one was just mesmerizing. I
Oh,
want that
yeah.
as a
Yeah.
fucking desktop screensaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, home screen on my phone. Anytime someone calls, the whole sequence just plays.
Yeah.
And
They
I
always
miss
sing.
every call.
Every
Why
call,
don't
yeah.
Matt? Why don't you pick up for like
Look at
4.5
this.
minutes?
Because
You're not picking up
daggers
for
are
4.5
gravestones.
minutes.
That's why.
And why does your phone ring for 4.5 minutes? It seems like it should go to
Because
voicemail.
Gravestones are then teeth in a skull. Is why. This song was performed by Matt Monroe, but then later as a radio hit by Frank Sinatra. Did you know that?
I did not know
Yeah.
that it ever became a radio hit.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I used the term hit liberally, but it's not a John Barry tune either.
If you said adult contemporary hit, I would believe. I would believe that.
Yeah, it's played a lot.
Adult contempo.
Coast.
Yeah. So, okay. I think I like the title sequence. I think it's cute, low tech.
Yeah.
Just some belly dancing, which
Shaking
obviously
ladies.
relates
Predicted.
to the belly dancing that happens later.
The unnecessary gypsy turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Gypsy exploitation
Yeah.
that happens.
very unnecessary. Let's go look at gypsies in a way that I felt racist watching. Anyone else agree with me?
I felt more sexist than racist. I don't know how you, Jonah.
Well, I felt like a huge asshole because I was like, "There's no way gypsies are this hot."
Arbiter Jonah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are some hot gypsies. But before we get to the gypsies,
Yeah.
I want to talk about the chess match.
Please. I want to talk. There's a few things in this I want to talk about too. I wish we had a podcast.
We do. He gets. You're watching a chess situation in a. We'll call it the situation room. There's a. He receives a note on the bottom of a glass of water. I like that clever way.
It
to
was
show
on the
a note.
napkin.
It was on the napkin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was underneath the water. Says you need it immediately. But here's my question. Why does he then decide to win? I thought it would have been a more
Oh, to just
Pride.
tank it? Cause
I
he had
think
to
it
get
would have
out
been a
of
more interesting
I think-
turn for him to just tank it.
because we find out how full of pride he is. that
Exactly.
I can win and handle this. You know, he's
Yeah.
so smug.
And
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I
Yeah.
thought. It's like, he gets the thing, but he even tears it up.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I
gonna
can
do
do
it.
both.
And then when, he's just saying later on, it's like, no, it worked. She's the one that messed it up.
Right.
He has so much pride that he won't even admit to
Yeah.
losing.
This actor I love. What is his name? I wrote it down. Vladek Sheber. Do you guys remember the original Red Dawn? He's in this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. And have you ever seen that really camp 80s musical, The Apple? He's
No.
in that as well. So he's kind of I would say like a B-movie character actor throughout the years. And he has this long, not illustrious career. But this is the only like legit movie I've ever seen him in. And
Oh,
I
wow.
love him. Yeah.
Besides
Did
Red Dawn.
I was just gonna say, did you
What?
just like shit on Red Dawn casually? Just casually
I
say,
love Red Dawn.
I know you love
but it
Red
is
Dawn.
a B movie, let's be honest.
Red
Come
Dawn
on.
is my favorite Wolverines movie.
Wolverines.
I fucking love Red Dawn. I didn't see the remake out of protest.
How'd that protest go?
It's still
Were
going.
you one strong?
Well, no, there's a whole crowd out on Sunset, and they said, like, yeah, go take 2 hours for a podcast, but make sure you talk about our cause.
Yeah.
And so I have to
What's
get back out
funny
there
is
soon.
when everyone thought it was the reaction to the Zimmerman verdict, it was actually Matt.
Yeah.
It was Matt's Red Dawn
They're like,
protest.
why have they been protesting for about a year before the trial, before even the murder happened?
I will say, though, Zimmerman, as soon as that was over, they're like, we're joining with you guys. This is more important.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red
they
Dawn.
did.
Red Dawn, everybody. So, yeah, that chess match. Okay, I see your point, guys. I'm going to say, yes, I see your
But
point.
can I shout out
Yeah.
to the production design in this chess room I love? And also, did you notice that when they go to a wide shot, the ceiling is a matte painting?
Yes, I did notice that.
And I will
notice that?
say,
Yeah.
this is rare for me, especially in these early Bonds. This is one of the few that's not production designed by Ken Adam, who is one of my all-time heroes.
Yeah.
It still looks good, but I miss like that Dr. No chamber, like the angular sets,
Yeah,
and the kind
with
of
the
stylized
shadows that
place.
are cast.
So normally, what you get in a Bond movie is the villain's lair is really stylized and kind of mid-century modern and a really cool steel and wood and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so this one's a little bit more classic, because they're in Istanbul half the time too.
And there is no lair, really. It's just a boat.
Yeah, right.
It's just a yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we see. So after this, after he does the opposite of tanks the chess match, he wins it immediately.
He should just have someone throw him a threatening note every match.
Yeah. That's how he
So
psychs
moved
him
it
out.
on. Yeah.
Also, like the guy bringing him the note, like his way of showing him there was a thing, just like just puts it down and stares at him.
Not suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think they would have prearranged how he's going to get a note.
Yeah, exactly. You look thirsty.
Remember?
You really want to drink this, right? And just really look at it. Look at what you're look at what you're drinking. You want to do that?
No, I'm fine.
No. I think you should really just take. I'll set it closer to you.
I am in the middle of a chess game.
Yeah, I understand, but you're very thirsty.
I am not thirsty.
really thirsty.
I am not.
No, well, listen.
I'll make you happy.
Oh,
I'll
thank
make
you
you
so
happy.
much.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you
your
so much.
move.
There's a note.
No.
I surrender.
Also, the cockiness of when he walks away.
Yes, I was just gonna
afterwards.
say that. It doesn't shake anybody. The guy goes to shake his hand. Great
Yeah.
fucking extra
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
by that
Yeah.
guy who
Yeah.
tries to shake his
It
hand.
was a good job.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then we cut to Siamese fighting fish.
right.
And that's real. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
didn't
like
that bum you out a bit?
They fed the fish to the cat, too.
that must have been a fucking fake thing, right?
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
they're letting the Chinese fighting fish tear each other apart. I'm sure they
Yeah.
fed it a real fish.
Yeah, probably.
Is it? I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. That
Because they
didn't
kill a
bother me.
shark, too, in Thunderball.
Yeah, they did kill a shark.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
shoot
do they
it.
shoot these things? Or you could do that? Is
In
it
the
before any
1960s?
regulations?
Yeah,
in Jamaica. You can
It's
still
not
do that,
where,
yeah.
it's when, Jonah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I go down there to do my bestiality snuff films.
Oh,
Down-
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
You should really get the series. It's called Gore on Girly. Gorely. Shit. Forget it.
no. I want to know what it was, though.
Don't worry about it.
We'll talk later.
We'll just.
Gore on Gorley?
Yeah. Gorely on Gore.
So it's like a play on girl on girl.
Yeah. Yep. And it's a gore because it's a snuff film, so
Yeah,
there's
so
going to be
gore,
some
and
murder
then
and
Matt-
fucking.
Oh, it checks out.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty
The premise
tight.
was there, and I'm sorry about it.
Is
No, it's fine.
I'm sorry about it.
Why? Just because you flubbed up? Do you want to take it back?
No, I just think it wasn't worth it.
Give
I
him the line again.
apologize.
Give him the line again.
audience.
I go down to Jamaica to do my bestiality snuff films.
Yeah, you should check out the series. It's called Funnier that I fucked it up a second time. Yeah, Siamese fighting
Define
fish.
funny.
Just fight. It didn't hurt inside as much.
Sorry.
Siamese fighting fish fighting each other. Yes, the real fish are fighting each other, which for some reason I didn't mind. I had fighting fish. I had Siamese fighting fish. When I was
But you
a-
keep them in separate jars
Did you
next
make
to
them
each other.
fight?
I put them in occasionally together.
Oh, you ringmaster.
But they never died. They never killed each
You
other.
god player.
They want to do it. That's what they want to do.
Right.
It's against their nature not to fight.
I want to go in Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Would you rather go beyond it?
Maybe.
2 men enter, get to know each other, walk out, have some food.
Oh, like kind of Thunderdome.
You want to hit up Pizza Fridays?
Yeah.
We can't. It's actually the company doesn't even.
What?
It's Thursday. What are you talking about?
I'm James Bond.
Again?
Yeah.
Blofeld. You know who plays Blofeld?
Whose arm plays Blofeld in this?
Peter. I don't remember his name, but he plays
Bogdanovich.
Professor Dent in Doctor No.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He's a friend of the production, I think.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we meet our villainess.
I love her.
You see the
Nurse
when
Diesel.
you see that.
Know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's what that comes from.
You also see
essentially,
like
yeah.
Frau Farbissina.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of the same.
And then obviously the Austin Powers, Mindy Sterling
Frau.
character
Yes.
is like
Frau.
directly referencing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there she is. She's a Russian defector who defects to
Spectre.
To Spectre.
Spectre.
Defector to Spectre.
Would you identify her as Russian or lesbian first? Because they go pretty far with both.
They go really heavy-handedly with both.
Yeah.
And I will stop for a second here to say that Ian Fleming has a serious lesbian problem.
Really?
He does. It's very clear in his books. He's just. Have you guys seen Orange Is the New Black? Have you watched that?
Not yet,
Well,
no.
the kind of like head of the officers has a similar thing where he just was really upset by it, but you also get the feeling he's very attracted to it.
Yeah.
And I don't think Fleming had worked through his issues. So lesbians are villains until they're turned straight, and then they're not villains, and it's just really uncomfortable sometimes to read the books on like racist, sexist, and especially like lesbian and gay people are always villains and that sort of thing. I mean, it's the 60s. They were back then. They
Well,
were
that's
always
James
villains.
Adomian has an amazing stand-up
Yes,
bit about like how all old villains were just gay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even like Transformer villains.
Right.
Yeah.
Star, yeah. Starscream. It's an amazing bit. It's got to be online somewhere.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen him do it live. It's really funny.
Yeah, I did write lesbian overtones. It's not an undertone.
Overtones.
It's an
Yeah.
overtone.
Lesbian tones.
Yeah, well, yeah, she just felt her up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt her up.
I just-
real good.
Very. I don't know. I felt uncomfortable watching.
Well, I remember when I think I first watched this, I didn't expect that in a movie like this at all. That's one thing I love about Bond movies is they do throw you certain things that you know, the Hitmen in Diamonds Are Forever,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think is one of my favorites.
They push it.
Yeah,
they
they
really
really
do.
do.
They push it. And
And
that must have
Skyfall,
made
we
everybody
didn't talk about that
uncomfortable.
with Skyfall, did we? Did he or did he not?
oh,
Because you've seen Skyfall.
Yes.
what is
So-
what is your question in your mind?
He's saying he's coming on to him. Silva,
Yeah.
the villain's coming on to him, and he says there's a first time for everything. And then Bond says, "What makes you think this is my first time?"
Oh, yeah.
that just made me think James Bond will do anything for his country, and if he has to blow a dude to get the job done.
What were the specifics of that assignment?
He came across a filming of Goran Gurley.
No, it was
Fucked it up again.
That'll do it.
It was 007 Assault on Fire Island.
Goran Gorley, it's erotic material. I challenge you to watch it for more than 5 minutes and not be just fiercely turgid.
Not
Yeah.
to, you'll be hard pressed not to puke out of your mouth and dick.
Yeah. So in your mind, in my mind, that's sort of where I went with it. I was like, well, he'd do anything for a mission, and also I feel like he's so sexual.
Yeah.
He'd try whatever the fuck.
Right, especially if there's a girl involved, some three-way or something.
Yeah, but he's like he's like Prince or Bowie or any of those guys are just they've had it all and they're just going to continue to push their sexual boundaries.
Yeah, it's time for a new ambiguous Bond.
Yeah.
A new, more ambiguous.
I need a new tug.
one that won't make you sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with this, so we see this whole scene. Tatiana Romanovich.
Romanova or Romanova? I don't know. but
Romanova.
It's one of those.
Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and side with Jonah on this.
Really, I may take the opposition on this.
Not the hottest girl in the movie.
Not the hottest girl in the movie.
I find her adorable.
No.
Yeah, I do.
Both gypsy whores were hotter. And the girl in the canoe, I thought was.
Here's my.
I like
girl
Karen Bay's girl.
The girl that was hotter, I think, was Robert Shaw's masseuse.
Oh, well, I don't mean to be indelicate, but when she takes off her robe, she's not wearing a bra. It's like she's wearing like a cup of liquid skin.
Yeah. It was real odd.
Jiggly.
It was the best thing in the world.
I'm not. I'll just say that I won't say anything.
Yeah. But Moneypenny.
Yeah.
But Moneypenny.
She's just classic.
Yeah.
classy
she's
lady.
a good looking lady. She really is. But I think Sylvia Trench is still hotter.
Well, it's good to know that when
The boat
these
girl.
women come to the three of us and ask, you have to choose which ones.
Yeah.
And this
We're
will
not
probably
gonna
be
fight.
within a week. That we will
No fighting whatsoever.
Definitely know where we
We'll
stand.
also have to grab the shovels because they're probably all dead.
No, none of them.
Moneypenny.
Moneypenny is, yeah. But they're all dubbed too. That's the weird thing. You don't.
A lot
even know
of
their
ADR
real
in this
voices.
movie.
Yeah.
Ton of ADR.
Like,
and just bad ADR too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they forgot to bring microphones.
Yeah, there's
like
a
because
point.
they're not in a place that would be the audio would be. They're not like standing in front of the Bellagio fountain or something.
Well, there was the helicopter when the helicopter comes to Spectre's
Yeah,
place.
that's
so
fair.
That
All
was
right.
fair, and then there
fair
was all
enough.
the gun
The loudest
stuff.
machine ever invented by man. Yeah, okay,
yeah.
I'll give you that.
But
Yeah.
they're dubbed by different actors, and I think even Rosa Klebb is. I don't know if that's her voice or not. But there's a point where Tatiana says, "Oh no, Q is showing the briefcase," and he goes, "Here are the latches here, and here," and the actor doesn't even say the second "and here." He's just sitting there. He goes "and here," and then his mouth stays closed, and then he goes "and here."
Oh,
They didn't even try.
Well, just think about the leader of the Gypsies, where it's he has his only line,
Oh, my
one of only
goodness.
2 lines off camera, and it's just the most aggressive, character filled.
Yeah.
What does he say exactly? Like,
I don't remember.
We're talking about the fat guy, right?
yeah, like that. I'm okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Something to the effect of that. It's just if it was just like thank you,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You are now his son.
And he's just running,
Yeah.
not doing anything during that huge fight. We can get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, Tatiana, her friends call her Tanya. I don't know why. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Right.
She's charged with the mission here. Her mission is to. God, what?
It's to bone down with James.
It's to bone down with James Bond.
Yeah.
But what is the fake end game of the Russians?
What?
I don't think she tells.
Well, Russia or Spectre?
No. What does Spectre want Russia? What does Spectre want Russia's goal to be? Because I understand England's goal. I understand Spectre's goal. I don't
Spectre-
understand what Tatiana is told that Russia is into it for. Just to kill James Bond? That's the
I don't
only thing
think
they
they
want?
give her. They give her anything. They just
I
say
think
like
they
you've
just
got
say,
to
like,
obey,
you have to.
or you'll be shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get with this guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Get up on this.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. On film.
Hey, wow.
Which they do.
And you see a little flesh.
Do
That
you?
was when Tatiana's walking to the bed. You can see the silhouette of her full naked body.
Nice.
This is
Rewatch this.
Nice.
Yeah, explicit for a James Bond movie.
Nice. You are an 80s Miami Vice extra. The way you just said that.
Thanks. Yeah. Over there.
I can feel it coming in me. Okay, so here's the crux of the situation, everybody listening at home. The plan this time, the supervillain plan is get revenge on James Bond for killing Dr. No.
Where the R inspector comes from.
Yep. Extort the Russians for the Lecter machine. E. Terrorize Istanbul by blowing shit up and causing tension between the Russians and the English.
Yes.
That's the T.
Yeah, you already said it with terrorizing it too.
I was hoping you would say
That's pretty good.
Spectre really doing a lot of... And it felt pretty special, right? So what are we missing?
Counterintelligence? No, that's there in there with the Lecter. That's implied.
This is literally every single thing in their description happens in this movie.
We need to put all of these early movies to the Spectre test. You know?
Yeah.
Does Dr. No do that? Special executive for counterintelligence.
No, Dr. No does not do it. I
Doesn't
still
do
don't know what Dr.
counterintelligence,
No's.
really.
Dr. No's plan was just to make some rockets not go straight. That was his plan.
How come special gets 2 letters, but counterintelligence doesn't? And
Well-
that's literally 2 words.
Don't worry about it.
I
Don't overthink it.
I gotta go.
Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the plan is we have a Lecter machine. It's a machine that decodes secret messages from the Russians. Tatiana works in an embassy that has one of these machines. The plan is pretend you're in love with James Bond and get him the machine. Do we tell you anything else, we'll kill you.
Sold in the room.
We'll tell you anything else, we'll kill you. And on the other side of this, James Bond gets a note that says, "Hey, there's a Russian Russian consulate worker in Turkey or Istanbul rather that wants to give up a Spectre machine. She wants to defect. Bring a Spectre machine with her, and fuck you."
Sounds like a trap.
I love this. I love that everybody, both sides, know it's a trap.
Yeah.
And the British, Kronstein's his reading of them is they will know it's a trap but can't resist it. And they don't even deny that in M's office. Like, let's do it.
M is just trying to kill Bond. That's all he's ever tried to do. There's this crazy mission. You have to be the one that goes on it. Ooh.
I'm skipping over the fact. Okay, so that's the plan. I'm skipping over the fact that we meet James Bond outside with his green Bentley, the Bentley from Casino Royale, the book.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got a telephone in it.
Right. Sylvia
Pretty
Trench. He's got his girl, his steady girl.
He shorthands Universal Exports and calls it Univex.
Oh, wow.
Never heard that before.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't catch that this
Yeah.
time either. Nice.
It's James Bond put me into Univex. Yeah. So that happens. Then he goes over to M's office, tosses a hat onto the hat coat rack, and oh boy, M's in there.
Yeah, but I like how he makes a joke and quickly realizes that it's not the time for jokes.
Yeah.
My next trick. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just he's afraid of his boss. I think it's definitely just a fear of M for some reason.
Right,
Like I don't know. Maybe it's just such the proper era, you know?
I think so.
Because you got now current James Bond doesn't mind punning off to M, no problems whatsoever.
Right.
But
We'll see how this new M relationship's gonna.
I'm looking forward to it.
Then Q, we meet Q for the first time.
Yeah, Jonah, did you know that was the
Technically.
first time we meet Q? The first
Whoa,
time the gadget
really?
was given? Yes, indeed. Jonah's reaction to it, you thought light on the gadgets? This is
yeah. I was a bit. I thought it was a bit light on the gadgets. It was a bit. And then this compartment. That's all it was. Compartments.
My favorite thing about that briefcase is that a feature of it is that it holds gold sovereigns.
Gold sovereigns.
Yeah. It's just.
And here is some ducats.
Yeah. and here's a strap that you put on under your shirt to keep your wallet because there's a lot of pickpockets in Istanbul.
Did you notice, too, they would never let this fly in a movie today when Q is showing all of the elements of the briefcase. His pinky has this huge, purple bruise. You know how you can smash a fingernail and it turns all purple?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
no,
I love
didn't
because
see
it
that.
feels like he's working down
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
you know it's just the actor slammed his hand in a door or something.
Yeah, so we get the 00 agent issued briefcase, which contains a flat throwing knife, a tear gas container that is tripped by latches being opened incorrectly, gold sovereigns,
Yeah.
and a
Belt of gold sovereigns.
and a Walther sniper rifle
Yeah.
that has an infrared sight.
Yeah.
And that's
22
everything.
caliber.
Sorry,
What?
it wasn't. It was 25 caliber.
I gotta go.
25 caliber.
I think you'd be hard pressed to kill a person with that thing. Especially from that. You could hit him, but those bullets are tiny. He might fall, maybe die on the fall,
Maybe
but
that's all they were hoping for.
I guess.
Maybe that's all they were hoping
But it's
for.
the
Well,
same
we'll get
thing
to that
with
later.
Oh. The same
So-
thing with his Beretta, because that's why his Beretta was that caliber,
Yeah.
and they gave him the 9mm.
Yeah,
Which
but this
today,
is-
9mm is like, come on. Give
Well,
me
you're gonna get the-
45.
you're gonna get-
pussy shit.
Yeah,
You're gonna get a higher velocity, longer barrel, more of a spin.
that's true.
I'm saying maybe it's gonna work out just fine.
We'll get back. We'll be back to it. We'll be right back.
Yeah, so I thought, great. Desmond Llewellyn with hair.
Mhm.
First time we see him. This guy now is in the next 18 movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only one he wasn't in up till he ended was Live and Let Die.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was just because of the script being unnecessary.
For some
We didn't-
reason
Really,
they-
was that it took him 18 movies to be like, no, not this one.
Well,
Oh,
no,
he
it was-
died.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
better. Better.
died.
Yeah.
He died in a car accident.
Yeah, he didn't even die of old age.
on a
Oh,
way
perfect.
to a. No, this is like this is in 2000 and maybe 2000.
We'll say 24.
Yeah, 2024. He was on his way to a book signing.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
such a sweet.
Yeah,
God.
bummer.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
But they wrote him out very nicely. He got a
Yeah.
goodbye. He got a good goodbye.
Although he never gave those words of advice ever once. Because
Yeah.
he leaves by saying, what have I always told you? Here are a couple things I've never told you.
Never let them see you bleed. And second, always have an escape plan.
I have to go. My planet needs me.
Bye, Philo. Okay, great. He's set up, ready to go, and then we meet our co-pilot through the movie, Mexican character actor whose name I forget, but died shortly after production. Correct?
Pedro Almodovar or something? like
Almodovar.
that? Is that it?
No, that's a director.
Yeah, why I always get him confused, but it's something very similar.
But yeah, super likable guy.
Can we talk before the transition of getting there is when they start using the James Bond theme, and throughout this entire movie, it is only used for driving in cars leisurely, flying on an airplane,
Leisurely.
walking through the embassy office, walking and getting
Hastily.
in his hotel. Did you notice that? And then it climaxes when he opens the briefcase.
Not
yet.
Oh, is he going from the lobby to his room?
Oh, I hope
The shroom won't do. I'll try the bridal suite.
Hey, wait, what was up with that too? Like, it's like the guy's listening in, and it's like a tense situation. Like, clearly there's something wrong with his room. Tell me, I only got the bridal suite. He's like, does he have the bridal suite? That'll be fine. Like, it's like, and then he goes, it's like there was who was that guy? Was he with the
one of the-
Russians or?
He was just. I
Bulgarians
think he
or
was just working. He was working for these. He was working for Spectre. I feel like he was a Spectre agent.
Everybody's in a spy game around there.
So do you think they gave him that room with the idea that he would want to go to another room?
Yes. So the acting on behalf of that gentleman was incorrect.
Yeah.
It should have been more of a. This is all going swimmingly.
Yeah, exactly.
Say we have the bridal suite ready. That's what he should have done. He should
Because
have
that's where
winked.
they were going to have the
Yeah,
thing
that's
set
where
up
the
to
camera was ready to
fuck.
film and fucking.
Goran Gorley. Matt and Matt.
Perfect.
So okay, so we come in. Q is there. Great. I made a note of the elevator wipe. He gets into the elevator, and then the scene transition
Follows
is a
it
wipe.
up. Let me throw something at you.
Yeah.
Can I borrow a match?
Oh, no, but I have a lighter. Oh, I
Better
prefer a lighter.
I use a lighter.
I use a lighter.
Better still.
Except when they go wrong on you.
Exactly.
Hello. We are spies. Right? That's what that means?
That's what you say when you're
Yeah.
spies, right?
God, there's so much good stuff with that. Let's sort of we're running a very long time right now, so let's make some let's make broader strokes.
All right.
Do
you wanna-
Sorry. Go. Yes,
Do you-
go.
Just quickly about that actor. He was dying during this movie,
Yeah.
and he died. They rushed his scene, so he desperately wanted to finish this movie.
Which one?
And the Karam Bey, the lovely,
the buddy.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh
he
my
died, I
God.
think, definitely before the movie came
Yeah,
out.
right after production.
Yeah.
What was he dying? Is it cancer?
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I know. And his son is in License to Kill.
Oh, man.
So those broccolis, they
I keep
really,
on getting bummed out by this guy.
Yeah, I know. He's so sweet. He's so
Yeah.
sweet.
yeah,
great.
He's great.
Just so affable. It was almost like he was in a different movie.
When you first meet him and the girl is like clamoring to be with him, and he's just resistant to having to have sex with a beautiful woman, and his comment
She's
is,
hotter.
back to the salt mines. That blew me away. Oh my God! Oh, I have to go.
I have to eat pussy.
recreational sex. Back to the salt mines.
Oh wait, you didn't get that he was gonna eat her out because the salt mine would be the vagina?
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, that's the layer.
Oh, I tend to not give these older films that kind of double entendre
Yeah.
credit.
Also,
but yeah.
I don't
But it's
think.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I don't
there.
think any guys were doing that because this movie is just full of just women being disrespected.
Yeah.
Do you want a case in point?
So he's putting his dick in the salt mine?
it's just
My
like
point
it's like
is
back
that
to
the
work.
salt mine.
Yeah,
No, my
I
point
thought
is
for
that
sure.
the salt mine. Oh, I think it's a double.
Yeah, I guess maybe you're
I think
right.
it's
It didn't occur to me.
Yeah, I
'cause
think it's a super double
But
entendre.
it's such a slam. Like, oh, I'm so powerful that I have to go have sex with this beautiful woman.
Here's just it's not yet we're not at that place, but
But
there's,
you can go ahead, yeah.
there's a part in the movie where there's the Bob Hope advertisement on the
Yeah.
side,
Mm-hmm.
and then the guy lifts up the window. It's right where the girl's mouth is, and then he starts to come out, shoots him down, and then James Bond says, "She should have kept her mouth shut." Like that is a joke that he's just making, which is a reference to a normal term that someone would say about a woman with a black eye.
Oh,
Like
jeez.
it's
You're getting
right.
ultra abusive on this situation. I
she
give
should have
him-
kept her mouth shut. That's like a thing people said. Should have kept her mouth shut.
I think he should have kept his mouth shut. Is as common as saying.
I see what you're saying, though. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely sexist.
I can't. Yeah, I can't. You can't. I
It
can't
just seemed
defend,
really overtly
I can't
aggressive to
defend
women.
the sexism in the James Bond movies because
No,
it is
But that
so
was like,
blatant.
that's like a reference to abuse.
Yeah.
Should have kept her mouth shut.
Well, I mean, Sean Connery
Told you twice.
famously, Sean Connery in that Barbara Walters interview talks about how he does think a woman needs a good smack every once in a while.
And Roger Moore had to go to court because his wife was beating him at one time. Did you know that? Yeah.
Jesus.
There's
Tells
your
you
difference
everything
in
you need to
Bonds.
know
Yeah,
about
yeah.
James Bond.
And it somehow endears me even more to Roger Moore.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's a tall, big guy. He could swat back, but he's such a sweetheart.
He swatted back with lawyers.
Yeah.
Fair
All right, so I think I interrupted something.
Yeah,
You guys
no,
are gonna-
it's okay.
broad strokes.
Yeah, we're going. So let's see. I don't even know what I wrote there.
We're probably about onto the gypsy camp.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it. So they go to a gypsy camp.
For fun?
They go to a gypsy camp to avoid going back to James's hotel, correct?
I guess. I don't know.
And at this point, the Russians have decided that that they need to kill.
He must not be there for good reasons. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
so-
this is after James gets the thing, right?
No.
Oh,
No.
No.
just watched it this morning.
This is
So,
something blew up.
But first we start.
Oh, there was the
with-
attack on dude's office.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it goes from belly dance into gypsy cat fight, like that, and then
Yeah.
into action sequence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the
It's the real deal.
3-punch.
It's
Yeah.
what every man wants to see in a movie, right?
Yeah.
Belly dancing, cat fighting, and
Well, and the
action
cat
sequence.
fighting, I mean, it was pretty brutal. It was, it was a girl version of Mandingo,
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just,
yeah,
They were gonna
in
kill each
very-
other.
in essentially cotton panties or swimsuit bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they needed to take off their skirts.
yeah.
I guess maybe it's just more
Just
material
more-
to
just-
grab.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah,
it's a
so- I'm
tactical
sorry.
advantage situation. But yeah, they're at a gypsy camp, and I will say that I really felt like it felt like a racist view of gypsies.
Oh, how do you mean?
Every single gypsy character was a caricature of a gypsy character.
Yeah.
Now,
It was like a circle jerk of pickpocketing.
The whole camp was sex and booze
yeah.
and revelry
Yeah.
and just debauchery.
And I will also say that when shit starts to go down, so an attack happens on this thing. They're trying to kill James or the guy James is with. The Russians are. The attack goes down. I feel like James nonchalantly was just stirring shit up. just like throwing the fire wagon, the wagon that was on fire.
Yeah, just on like Plaza, just cutting stuff,
just
turning over a table guys are fighting on.
Yeah, tossed it into nothing.
Yeah.
If people were fighting near him, he would stop the fight by knocking both of them to the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at one point he turns back and cold cocks the guy. Like he sort of dispensed with that gentleman, then decides to turn around. I gotta go back and knock him out with my pistol. I gotta pistol whip this guy.
Willy-nilly with the shooting, just deciding to do it here and there.
Yeah, hard to tell who's on whose side. And
Yeah.
he's just,
Yeah.
he and Karen Bay are just firing into the crowd.
And something you see as the viewer, which I thought was incredibly great, is Robert Shaw up there in the sniper's nest, taking people out to keep James Bond alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he needs James Bond alive for his plan to work.
Right.
For Spectre's plan
he
to
saves
work.
his life.
Right.
Yeah, saves his life. But then,
He's like a Fagin.
yes,
Yeah.
he's very much so. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after this gypsy fight,
Everyone goes back to partying.
everyone goes back to partying.
Yeah, even the head gypsy man has lost ostensibly sons-in-laws or family members, and he just comes over with a laugh, a hearty laugh.
Yeah.
And, here, have a girl.
Yes, you get to choose.
Yeah, you get. That was and like he appreciates it.
Yeah.
What do you want? Stop the girl fight. That's what he asked.
Yeah,
for.
that was interesting too, because what is his thinking there? That he's a gentleman and he doesn't want them to fight?
I think so.
Very not sexist,
Yeah.
which
That's
seems
true.
almost out of character. For
Well,
Bond.
because there were, he's afraid one of them's going to beat up the other one's face.
probably
and that's a waste
he's
of a
planning
pretty
to sleep
face.
on both,
Yeah.
on both of them.
Yeah, he wants both faces.
And so they show up to his tent, and then
Then they fuck. Right?
is that what happens?
I don't know. The
assume.
only thing you know is that you end up one of them is sewing his cuff while he's still wearing the shirt, like adoringly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's love slaves.
yeah.
These gypsy love slaves. Okay, so the Lecter, they have a whole plan to get the Lecter, and the plan is blow up the Russian consulate from underneath and then take the Lecter.
And there's things I love about this, like in the spy story, that they say they tell her one day and then come a day earlier.
Yeah.
Which just seems like legit spy stuff. to me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I thought was cool. Which also, but the whole thing, it was just like, you're willing to go to the lengths of blowing up the Russian consulate in Istanbul to get the Lecter. Why not have done that earlier?
Yeah, you could use that.
Yeah. Anybody? No one can answer that question. Why not do it, without Tatiana's involvement at all? Just sort of just blow it up and.
Well, he
grab
likes
it?
her.
Yeah, but
Like
I mean,
he likes her.
Oh.
But what does she do, essentially? I guess she just confirms its location, because otherwise,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Guys.
Then they run through a really cool looking set.
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Yeah, they run
Yeah.
through like a blown up set.
No. It's not blown up. It's just like it's it's underneath. It's the catacombs.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just talking about when they blow up the consulate and they have to run through the consulate and then go down the hole.
Yeah,
I
down the
was
hole,
talking
and then
about
there's
the
all
consulate.
those pillars holding up, all
Yeah.
those catacombs, which is great. And then there's the thing with the rats.
Yeah, where
rats
you're
and
like-
catacombs. Sean Connery. What are you thinking about?
What?
Indiana Jones: The Last
What?
Crusade.
Yeah,
Can you believe that they would do that twice?
Full
Back to the
circle.
well with them.
Full circle.
Yeah, even though he wasn't in that scene.
I know.
There's
But
a little,
I did think about it.
little weird
Oh, I
character
bet it
thing that I never caught before when they're calling back to the office and M and Moneypenny and all of those chiefs of staff are listening in on the code thing.
Yeah.
And then Bond says something about having sex or something. He goes with M in Tokyo, and he asks Moneypenny to leave, which I never thought of M as he's probably married and he's just dicking around in Tokyo. That was new character stuff for me.
That was all. I liked that a lot.
But that means like they're in Tokyo, and then M and Bond just had this night out where they went to a Japanese bathhouse or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds good to me.
Maybe that's when James went gay.
with M.
Yes.
Forgotten Cochran.
Not so far-fetched. Yeah, so let's sort of, the nitty-gritty of this whole situation. He has the Lecter, great. Now they get on a train. Mm-hmm. And this is sort
They
of...
run straight to the train.
They
Yeah,
run
that's
straight to the
right.
train.
Yeah, right on it. And,
By the way, the whole time I watch this, I'm like, this is a great plan. This is perfect. This is going to work. Nobody's going to get hurt. Everybody's having a good time, except for the people that got blown up inside the Russian consulate. I'm sorry, Russian. But then we start the train scene.
yeah,
And then we see Robert Shaw's on the train.
And he's so English you can't believe it.
Old man.
Old man.
In the book,
Yeah.
Red Grant is a homicidal, like maniac rapist killer that kills when there's a full moon. He's
Weird.
just an Irish killer that goes and kills when the moon is full.
Wow.
This is Fleming always has weird little things like that.
For me it's the pinnacle James Bond fight.
It's amazing.
I think this sort of train car fight. Now, okay, so here's the plan. The plan is it boggles my mind how cleverly written this sequence is of them missing the train stop. The Russian officer that gets on unwittingly is killed, as well as Pedro.
Yeah.
They're both killed. James then they end up having to stop somewhere, but he calls ahead to get M to send somebody to the office. From the office, that person gets sent. James gives away his coat when he tells the guy that his brother is dead. At what point does he say the code? Because Robert Shaw overhears the code happening.
Yeah.
The code word happening.
Right.
And then Robert Shaw is then able to kill the guy sent by MI6 before James gets outside, put on his hat, grab his briefcase,
Adopt his
accent, which makes you think he's like a program killer. Like he could.
I love it though, because when the actor does it so well, I believe the character does it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
No, definitely.
hey,
Yeah.
That's what he's
Somerset?
the Russian James Bond.
yeah. Well, he's Irish.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Sorry.
I forget
That's all
Spectre has many nations.
All nations.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone likes a good extortion. Revenge. Anyway. Yeah, so what we see now, here's my brain watching this now, for this might be the 30th time I've seen this movie. I just sort of was able to sort of just watch it from the standpoint of watching it for the first time. And we have someone here who's actually watched it for the first time. Was it tense for you?
Which
Was the scene, was James vetting Robert Shaw?
tense? No, it wasn't tense at all. It seemed like he knew the entire time.
You thought he knew the entire time?
That it felt like upon the conversation they were having, where he said "old boy" twice, and like when he was like he was suspect, and immediately felt like he knew.
I
didn't agree.
think he was suspect, but I think that the wine thing was like tipping him off, and then asked him about how he dropped the drug in the drink, and then his explanation kind of panned out, and so I think he was still waiting to see.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of... I felt like he was matching up with James Bond, like, step for step.
Yeah.
As far as, like, his explanation for things and da-da-da. And then I think the deal was really sealed when...
The guy tried to stab him?
He opens up the he opens up the briefcase, and it's the standard issue 007
Yeah,
briefcase.
and he's thinking, all right, this guy's legit.
This guy's, yeah, totally legit. Let's talk about life.
And then what does tip him off? I'm trying to remember. Oh, he just pulls out his gun when they take Tatiana in and drop her off, and then he comes in, and then Red Grant just has his gun out, right?
I think so, right?
Yeah. That's when he's going to do the deal. He's going to kill him there.
Yeah, and he puts the silencer on,
Mm-hmm.
and then, for some reason, decides that I will not kill you because you will buy a cigarette from me for 20 gold sovereigns.
Yeah, I think...
Where are the gold sovereigns? In this case.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. Open the case. James Bond is dead. You have the gold sovereigns. This is where it falls apart.
Uh-huh.
This little turn is where it falls apart.
I see. I didn't catch that.
No?
I didn't know. I think because I was willing to go, this is probably one of the first, if not the first movie where a villain, before killing them, kind of wants to tell him
Everything. 'Cause
Although
I'm so
Dr.
much
No
smarter than you.
basically did it too.
Yeah, Dr. No basically
But
does
I'll
it.
buy it in these early ones. It just got overused.
Yeah,
It became a parody.
What I like
Yeah.
about it in this one is that you believe, for some reason, you believe the character is so ready and so willing to be better than James Bond that he wants to say, "This is how I beat you."
Yeah, I feel like he wants his little dessert
Yeah.
before he kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to toy with him.
To see him. to see him struggle.
Yeah, but this, I just don't understand why he doesn't pull the trigger.
I fully think he's going to, but this is just my conjecture. But he just wants to talk to this guy. In some ways, they're kindred spirits.
Yeah.
But also, he's beaten. He's like Kronstein in a way. you know? I think he's got too much hubris.
Yeah.
We might be giving it too much weight. I don't know.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pride.
Just too much pride.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they fight in a fucking train quarter. They keep knocking into Tatiana.
I can't understand why this fight is so good in the second movie, and then many of the next fights in all the other movies are just kind of lame action movie fights. They took great pains to make this real.
The elevator fight in Diamonds Are Forever is just as good, I think.
I think so too, but I think they were directly going, we got to do something like that again. But this is all due mostly, I think, to Peter Hunt as the editor, who was the first, even of that era, to really do these quick cuts.
Yeah.
And back then, like, one of the rules in editing now is cut on movement because it's more dynamic. But back then, the rule was don't cut on movement. Like, let people come to a stop before you cut away from them. And so this fight is so crazy and frenetic. I don't think anybody had seen anything like it before. And
it's really tense, too.
It is.
It's like, is he going to get the,
because there's no clean punches. It's just all grappling. And I think you're still in John Wayne style era for those type of things, clean punches and gunshots that make you yawn and stretch before you fall.
Yeah. Oh, like Kleb when she dies.
Her orgasmic death? I have that in my notes. I feel like she's
really just letting it loose. So yeah, this Robert Shaw is amazing. Fucking phenomenal. Kind of crazy when you think about the fact that 8 years later he's going to be Quint.
Because he's so butch.
Young and buff and just,
that is crazy.
But for my money, I think he's got to be the best henchman.
I think he's
got to be the most capable, and he's got to be the acting, I think, is above all.
There's no gimmick to him.
Yeah, and there's also, I think, every time, the problem with henchmen, I think, throughout James Bond is that henchmen are cast, when they're cast, the henchmen are usually character actors that I'm sure you get headshots of a bunch of people that are dressed up like Odd Job, and you go, that's our Odd Job.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like, we need a chauffeur. Get me all the pictures of Asian chauffeurs you have. Right. And that's how they cast them. And I think that sort of is the thing throughout Jaws. I think, Richard Kyle, he's cast because he's that big.
And they're not characters. The characters are not written out. This guy was a character.
Yeah. And I think that pound for pound, acting-wise, Robert Shaw might be the best actor in the entire history of the series.
Wow.
Think about it.
He's up there, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you put Judi Dench, Ralph Fiennes up there.
I'd put Daniel Craig in there and Javier Bardem.
I don't know if I'd put Daniel Craig up there. Javier Bardem I can see.
Well, I have an extra slot. Have you not seen my shelf?
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah.
My shelf still has Pierce Brosnan on it.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, no, Robert Shaw is so fucking good. And that's really, I think if there's any takeaway from this movie, it's to watch this movie. The biggest reason I think to watch this movie is Robert Shaw. Mm-hmm. That's sort of how I feel about it.
Agreed.
Yeah, you guys agree with me? That's great. Yeah. I'm glad we all agree. Then you think the movie should be over, and then they decide to have a boat chase. They decide to have a helicopter car chase and a boat chase.
Yeah.
I forgot about the helicopter thing, which was really cool, but unnecessary.
They have a boner for helicopters in this movie because it's in the beginning, it's in the end, and I think actually helicopters were not even 10 years old at this point in regular use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that was sort of this, like you'd put a Chevy Volt in a Bond film today.
Yeah, what a good, you're putting in perspective for us.
This. That's why, too, I think that briefcase full of what we would find to be like cliche spy things, I think would probably blow an audience of that time away.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the whole situation. Then we come to I'm going to just skip the boat chase.
Yeah.
I actually fast forwarded through the boat chase at home.
Nothing's revealed, nothing changes.
Yeah.
I know just technically they missed the shot that I was like, we're going to rehearse, and some special effects guy blew the explosion, and they had to kind of like rely on one camera to grab it or something.
By the way, some of those fucking stuntmen are on fire.
Did you see the one that blows up in the guy's face?
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like it's on purpose.
Yeah. But that was one of the ones that, because the shot is slightly off when it happens.
Yeah.
It makes you go, oh, and then he jumps into water.
But the water's on fire. The water, he jumps
crazy,
into water on fire. That's the guy. That's the exact guy I was talking about. The boat chase is worth it just to see stunts gone wrong.
Yeah.
And like the most shoehorned in. Well, it's like where we say, or like in England or where I come from, where there's smoke, there's fire. What does that mean, though, in the context of this?
Yeah.
There's fire everywhere because you just blew up a bunch of gasoline.
Yeah, the smoke is inconsequential.
Yeah.
Also, guys on a boat throwing barrels out. Robert Shaw.
What? Robert Shaw, what do you
It's
mean?
just like Jaws.
Oh, right.
This has the Jaws connection and the Last Crusade connection.
Yeah.
The two best movies that both of those actors were ever in.
That's true. That's true.
I will walk away from the microphone now. So then the ending, sort of the ending scene, you think everything's happy. You forgot about Kleb.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody forgot about old Knife
She thought
Shoe.
she was going to
Rosa
die,
Klebb.
and then Spectre ends up killing the other guy.
Because that's what Spectre does.
Right.
Which is
A lot.
Very often the person getting yelled at who thinks they're going to die, the guy next to them dies.
Well, it's a lot like I think season 4 opening of Breaking Bad, where Gus Fring is talking to Jesse and Walt about how horrible they've done, how they're just going to start it's like, and then Walt's trying to save his ass, and then as Gus is getting ready into an outfit, he goes and he kills his right hand man.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's very Bond.
Yeah. Bond started everything, guys.
The shoe knives, pretty awesome.
Shoe knife. By
Poison
the way,
shoe knife.
Poison shoe.
Oh yeah,
10-second
I
venom.
forgot about that
Yeah.
part of it. I really forgot about
really
it.
must get the venom
faster. Why? Don't you want people to know they're dead and Spectre has just gotten the best of them?
Most of them do, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why that wouldn't. We want the longer working venom, like maybe 45 seconds. 50, I don't know. Is 50 too long? It could break stuff.
How long does it take to make a Hot Pocket? Make it that long.
First, how long does it take to invent a Hot Pocket?
You and your logistics
I'm
of the
just
timeline. 10
man.
years of helicopters.
She dies in the most sexual death I think I've ever seen.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Also, the Rusky, hard time deciding.
Well, yeah, because she, at this point, is she aware that Kleb no longer works for the Russian Super Service?
I think that's put in for audience tension. I think
no longer
I think pretty
smirched.
early on she's truly in love with him. What do you guys think about
Yeah,
that?
I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, how could you not be? I was in love with him very early on.
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah.
Here's what happens in the book. Do you know how this movie ends in the book?
I love this.
She gets him in the shin with her shoe knife, and Fleming didn't know if he wanted to write Bond books anymore, so he ends with a cliffhanger,
No way.
and you don't know if he's going to die. And then it comes back. I can't remember what the next book is, but he's recuperating, but it takes him a long time.
Thunderbolt.
Shit.
Yeah. Is it?
Well, that's the only one that starts them recuperating. He's at the spa.
I can't remember. I want to say, because I think this is I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe.
Because Thunderbolt's the one he writes with Kevin McClory,
Yeah.
which I feel like is late. I don't know.
No,
Someone
because they
out
wrote
there
a
knows.
script, movie screenplay
Yeah.
first. Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
What's because Ian Fleming wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang,
Mhm.
Yes.
but it was who wrote the book for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? Because there was a switch thing they did.
Oh,
right?
Roald Dahl.
Roald Dahl. That's right.
Who also wrote
and
the
then Roald Dahl
screenplay.
wrote the screenplay for You Only Live Twice.
That's right.
Yeah.
So they switched.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah, they were friends,
interesting.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
You write this movie. I'll write you one of your
Could you take my feathered pen
Yeah.
and cigarette inhaler?
Right?
I could, but I'm
You're
very
mumbling
busy.
again.
No, I'm very busy with James and the Giant Peach.
What?
James is looking at a peach. It's a
There's
giant.
a giant peach?
It's a
I'm
giant
writing
peach.
James Bond on the giant peach.
What we do with? Do tell.
I swear it.
But is your giant peach large enough to ride?
It might be. I'm also writing Jimmy in the Chocolate Factory.
What? You know that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory has been published for years.
Uh-oh.
It's a sequel.
Have you done a glass elevator?
Of course, I've done a glass.
I can't tell which one of you guys is which person. I think it's switched a couple times.
It is a Wonkavator. Who were you being? You're still Ian Fleming, right?
In my mind.
Yeah, okay.
I'm always
You're
Ian
asking
Fleming.
about the glass elevator because you know in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Yes.
that you've seen a glass elevator.
If I was doing your road dog, I would do it very well.
Yes, this is
I'll tell you what and all that, yes.
And then very hard. I'm sorry. I thought it would be there's a glass elevator in my movie as well.
I wish there was a third British author I could be.
Who could?
J.K. Rowling.
I'm a baby.
See, you're getting
Very
the timeline
good. Very
thing.
good.
There you go. Yeah.
Helicopters are new. We from Russia with loved.
We sure did. Next up, Quantum of Solace.
Madden. Friendship, bonding, friendship. Madden, with friendship.
That's the theme.
I don't know how we don't just make that the theme.
Oh, I think we should. Yeah. We'll just sing it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not cool.
Oh.
Why don't you just replay the thing
Yeah,
I
why
did
don't
when
we
I made
just
it up?
cut
Are
it
you an
out?
ASCAP?
Why don't we just
Yes,
cut it out?
and BMI.
Okay, then we have to. All right. Sorry. Well, then let's get it clean.
No, I can't do it.
You don't want to be on 22 podcast episodes singing it?
Madden.
We could. This is just great. Someone got a
We'll
buzz.
do it all at once. How about that?
Okay.
Or let's do it. So we'll get this clean.
All right.
So 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4. 1, 2, 3. Madden.
I forgot. Do it again.
Madden. Sorry. Bonding friendship. Okay.
Oh, and then friendship.
Yeah. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. Madden. Bonding friendship. Bonding. Madden. Friends bond. 007.
This is the song.
Myra Gorley.
And Jonah on this episode, but not on the rest.
This will flesh itself out.
Yeah.
We need you here every week.
Done.
All right.
Jonah Ray, thank you so much for being here. If you want to follow Jonah on Twitter, go ahead and search for Jonah Ray Donovan.
Jonah Ray Donovan at Jonah Ray. The name is Jonah Ray Donovan. Check me out, my brother Bunchy.
What is this? What is going on?
Ray Donovan. He's obsessed with Ray Donovan. So today we suggested that he should just change.
It's not my favorite show. It's my favorite reference point.
He lives in a parody of himself. Like he lives in a world where I like referencing it. So Matt, we will
Quantum Souls next week. We haven't lined up guests.
we haven't lined up yet. Well, we have some guests sporadically throughout
Yes.
lined up, but Quantum Solace we do not have a guest yet.
We will have one.
We'll figure it out.
That's one you'd like, I'm going to ask you to the lame party.
Yeah. That one is the one where like we'll have you on this, but we should have you on something else cool.
Yeah, that's
also.
true. All right.
And then Goldfinger we're doing with Allie in Georgia.
Okay, right.
And they're gonna make us some mint juleps.
I love a mint julep. I love a minty julep.
Derby. Thank you guys for listening. Follow us at James Bonding Pod on Twitter, and you can follow Matt at Matt Gorley and me at Matt Myra. It's with an I, not a Y. And email us jamesbondingpod.
BondJamesBonding@gmail.com.
I'm sorry.
Right?
BondJamesBonding@gmail.com.
Yes.
That is where you'll find us. If you need to reach us, tell us suggestions, guests, whatever, let us know. We appreciate it. If you want to write a theme song, we won't be mad at you. Just use Jonas lyrics. Thanks so much. And what do you do?
I have to go, don't you see, because I'm dead.
But Ian, we've both been dead for years.
What?
We have both been dead for years.
We've been Shyamalan.
I don't understand what that means.
M. Night Shyamalan. Sorry.
Still, that reference point is many years after our deaths.
Who?
I have to go.
Bye.
And then the German kid likes the chocolate, and you see what he does is he eats it and he dies.
But all along, you should have just had cups of water.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.